And I think it's 9 a.m. So I vote we get started. I'm going to share my screen. And I'm getting that signal that you are not able to see it. So let me try one more time. Okay, hopefully you can see it. If you can't see it, let me know. Unmute yourself and holler, but I'm going to assume that you can see my screen. So we are talking about, I got a lead, now what? It's come to my attention that not everybody has been trained on the steps of what to do, the best practices on how to convert a lead. And here we are under pressure to make sure we're converting a lead every 6 months. So let's talk about what the best practices are to convert a lead and actually be able to achieve that goal of a lead within every 6 months converting, if not greater than that. I know some of you have goals of converting leads every month. So how do we go about doing that? Well, the first thing we need to do is we need to respond quickly. So in less than 5 minutes, we need to respond. We need to call, email, and text the lead immediately, and not necessarily in that order. Some of you text first and say, hi, this is Tara. I'm a realtor. I'm about to call you. And then you call the person so that they know what number is coming through, and they're more likely to answer the phone. Some of you call first and then send a text afterwards saying, this is Tara. I just left you a voicemail about the property you inquired about. The great news is with these iLeads that we're getting, is most of them are inquiring about a property. So the question becomes, when do you want to go see that property? We know they're not pre-approved. We know all this information about them because of how they're coming through the system. The majority of them are not going to be pre-approved. The majority of them are not working with a realtor. So our goal is not to scare them off in the beginning and not mention pre-approval on the phone. Our goal is to get them into a house, show them that house, and then while we're showing them the house, start saying, how much buying power do you have? Have you spoken to a lender? What made you pick this house? Was there a price point? What made you pick this price point? And then they can start saying, well, I was online, I have no idea, and that type of thing. And then we guide them into the lender conversation. So hopefully that makes sense. We want to respond quickly. How do we want to respond? Ideally, we're using the app. And if you don't have the app downloaded on your phone and you need help downloading it, just reach out to me and I'll be happy to help you with that. But we're using the app so that we can quickly email and call right off of the app. We're not waiting until we get in front of a computer and pull up the property to answer any questions. We may be saying, I'm in between appointments right now, but I wanted to get back to you and see when you wanted to go see this house and if you had any questions I could look into for you. So just letting them know that you are calling them, and you're not in front of a computer. So a polite way to say that is, I'm in between appointments right now. And you can be in the grocery store and using that line. They don't need to know where you are. So the other thing I recommend when you want to respond quickly is to use shortcut keys on your phone. So when I was selling and when I was getting internet leads, I used to have a key that I could touch. It was BM. Don't ask me why it was BM, but those were two initials I picked. And it would just, a script would pop up. Hi, this is Tara. I'm a realtor. You are on my website. When did you want to go see that property? So instead of having to type the entire message, I typed two initials and it would pop up on my phone and I was able to send it out. That way I was able to respond really fast and people would still be looking at the property when they got the text from me. And I kind of impressed them that way. And I was able to convert leads because of how quickly I responded to people. So if you don't know how to do that, reach out to me and I'll be happy to walk you through how to set that up on your phone, assuming you have an iPhone. I'm not sure how to do it on an Android, but I know it's possible because Android users use the same shortcut keys. All right. So you respond quickly to the lead. That's the first secret. Responding using the app, responding quickly, asking them when they want to go see the property, not scaring them off. about talking about a lender. The second thing you want to do when you get back in front of a computer is you want to set them up on listing alerts. Now, we don't know necessarily exactly what they're looking for because you may or may not have gotten in touch with them and they may or may not have told you exactly what they're looking for. But we have an idea of what they're looking for because they clicked on a property and asked for more information. So, based on that, we're going to assume, let's say they clicked on a $400,000 property in Fairfax. We're going to do $100,000 price range for them so we would do 350 to 450 in all of Fairfax and set up listing alerts. So how do you do that? You go into InTouch, you click on your more button, and then you click on send listings. That pops up a screen where you can do a map search and you can put in the town. So you put in Fairfax, Virginia, click on filters, and a slide rule will pop up at the top, and you slide rule the price point that you want. You're not going to be able to say whether it's condo or a single family because we don't know necessarily what they're looking for, but we know the number one thing people want to see is property. So if we can get property in their inbox, they are more likely to respond and say, I'd like to go see this, or I'm looking for that. And once they start responding to us, then we can get a dialogue going. We're just trying to get people to respond. So we want to be the agent they come to. So we send listing alerts. So after you do the map search, after you click on filters and do your slide ruler to set up the price point, and you might want to pick a couple bedrooms if you have an idea of what they're looking for, you click save search and you go through the steps that pop up. It's as simple as that. I would send the alerts daily until they say otherwise, that they don't want to receive the alerts. But again, people are going on websites on a regular basis. The reason we want to do it through InTouch is InTouch has a great system where we can log in and we can see if somebody had a favorite, or we can do a search and we can see if people have been active. And so that way we can reach back out to them and say, I see you are active on my website. Are there any properties you wanted to go see? So this way, and also you get an alert on your phone if you have your phone set up when people are searching your website, so you can reach out to them while they're on the website. You can pull up the app, type in their name, or you can click on a link that the system sends you and it'll open up the Market Leader and or InTouch. Sorry, it goes by both names, Market Leader and InTouch. So you'll have to forgive me. I use both. And you can just reach out to the person immediately. If you have a phone number, you can call or text. If you don't, you want to email. So that's why I like the listing alerts through InTouch. The whole system loops around and connects everything. And hopefully that makes sense. All right. The other thing we want to do is we want to add people to a monthly newsletter. So you've gotten this lead, you get back to the office or your home office or to a laptop, you set them up on listing alerts. Other thing you want to do is add them to your monthly newsletter. We want to automatically be touching people at least twice a month in addition to the listing alerts so they get property, and then we want them to get to know us. But we don't know anything about these people. So the twice a month that I recommend is the monthly newsletter, which is great for the creative types, um, for people that like to read. It's got pretty pictures in it, which is great. It attracts a certain personality. There's other personalities out there like engineers and finance people that prefer to see something like a prospect square. So what I recommend is that you set them up on both the monthly newsletter and the prospect square. So plus, in addition to that, you need to be reaching out and doing a personal touch. So doing a call or doing an email. So they're going to hear from you at least 3 times a month in addition to the listing alerts. This is how you start to convert people. Is you've got to be in their face constantly so that when they're ready to make a move, you're the agent they reach out to. And I can't tell you how many stories I hear where the client calls the agent and says, thanks for keeping in touch with me for all this time. I've decided I'm ready to buy a house. Can you help me? And the agent's like, I don't even know who you are. You're just in my database getting these automatic things. But that's great because at least, somebody's reaching out. So the more we reach out to people, the more people will reach back out to us. A lot of these people are in an 18-month cycle. So that's the other reason we want to set up automatic things so that it's automatically going out over that 18-month period. So how do you add someone to your monthly newsletter? You come into InTouch and you click on the marketing button on the far right side that looks like on my screen, it looks like a purple teardrop. If you don't have any marketing set up for the person, it'll be a gray teardrop. So you click on the teardrop and then you just check whichever box you want of what you want to set them up on. And these are the campaigns that you've already created. So I'm not teaching you how to create a campaign. That's a different class. But if you've created a campaign, all you have to do is check the box and the consumer is now going to start receiving that, in this case, monthly newsletter. All right. So the other thing I would do is I would set the person up in Prospect Square. So 3 steps: listing alert, monthly newsletter, and Prospect Square. This is, again, to attract our analytical minds because we don't know what type of consumer we have on the other end of the email address. We don't know who they are or what type of mind they are. So we have to make sure that we're appealing to all personality types and not leaving anybody out. So the problem with Prospect Square is it does not talk to InTouch or Lead Router. So you have to manually move the lead into Prospect Square. The great thing is once you set them up, it automatically goes every month and you never have to touch it again. So I would take the 5 minutes it takes to set them up in Prospect Square and let it fire out on my behalf. How do you do that? You go to My CB Desk and you click on Prospect Square.
Yeah.
And then you go to reports and click on area reports. Again, we don't know specifically what they're looking for. We just know an area. So we're going to send them an area report. Click on the word new to create it. And then you're going to give the report a name. You're going to click new contact and fill out that box that pops up. You just need first name, last name, and email address. That's all you need to fill out on that box that pops up for the new contact. Click save and then browse for your market area and set it up. Once you have all this set up, again, it'll fire out automatically on your behalf once a month. And it takes less than 5 minutes to do. So we want to respond to the lead within 5 minutes, call, emailing, and texting. We want to set up listing alerts with the lead. We want to set up the newsletter with the lead, and we want to set up Prospect Square with the lead. So, and then once we set all that up, the system will start working on our behalf. We continue to reach out to the lead once a month. We pick up the phone, give them a quick phone call. Did you have any questions, any property you wanted to go see? I'm here to service you. How can I help you? That type of thing. Or we send it in an email if we don't have a phone number, and then the leads will start to convert. Does all of that make sense? And you all are on mute.
Yes.
Are there any questions? Okay.
No.
Fantastic. Well, it's as simple as that to start converting a lead. Let me check my chat box real fast. I don't see any chat, so I will say I will let you go then.
Great. Thank you, Tara.
You're welcome. Thank you, guys.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
Tara.
Bye.
Thank you.